Welcome, future peasant. Today I will take the time to explain everything you need to know about the Roland de Bretonnia, better known as the BRE clan in Mount & Blade Bannerlord. Whether you're a fresh-faced recruit, a complete stranger to Bannerlord multiplayer, or a seasoned veteran, there'll be something to learn for everybody. The Roland de Bretonnia is Bannerlord's biggest online multiplayer clan with over 300 active members. They organise multiple events every week and invite other Bannerlord clans to compete in this grand-scale roleplay PvP. Battles are fought every Friday and Sunday evening, while official trainings are organised every Tuesday. The theme of the clan is based on Warhammer Fantasy's Bretonnia. The clan is mainly composed of English and French speakers, but boasts many members all around the world. The clan adheres to a medieval hierarchy, which I'll explain to you in detail. Firstly, above all else, there is the king, Louan Leoncoeur, the Duke of Coron, and ruler of the entire kingdom. Louan is a seasoned Mount & Blade player who started this clan many years ago with the help of his trusted lords. He organised the clan and made it into the household name it is today. His authority is unmatched, and so is his valour on the battlefield. Under the king serve his many barons, counts and dukes, all veterans in their own right, forming the king's feared and respected cavalry retinue on the battlefield. Each of these lords have their own land and men to rule over, called a duchy. A duchy is partly independent and have their own culture and military tradition based on a province in the Kingdom of Bretonnia. There are currently 6 duchies: Coron, Mousillon, Montfort, Aquitaine, Guyenne, and Gascony. Below a duchy is a lordship, which is smaller and sworn to the duke, not the king. They wear their own colours, and a lordship is usually formed when a lord's squire becomes a knight and receives their own lands and retinue. The current lordships are Mortenel, Grimaud, Castan, Frontier, Bagnac, Herrimaults, and Artenois. Underneath the king and the nobility of Bretonnia serve their retinues: captains, sergeants, men-at-arms, armed peasants, and below them all, but just as important, is you, the peasant. The BRE has 2 groups that differ from the hierarchy that we have just seen, those being the Order of the Lake and the Herrimaults. Let's look at these 2 groups. The Order of the Lake is a religious order fielding questing knights, zealous pilgrims, monks and priests. They oversee religious purity and dedication to the Lady, the only legal religious figure in Bretonnia. Both the Brother Knights and Pilgrims are feared warriors, adorning upside-down shields, 2-handed weapons, wearing only simple robes. They can enact their inquisitions efficiently and unexpectedly. When someone commits a heinous crime against the Lady, one can be sentenced to serve under the Order of the Lake to rediscover their lost faith and regain their honour. Archers in the Kingdom of Bretonnia will first fight under their own banner, wearing their duchy's colours. Experienced archers have to prove themselves in the Master Archer trials to become Master Archer to gain their respective title. But when they prove themselves not only exceptionally skillful at archery, but also in hand-to-hand combat, they might have a chance to become one of the Herrimaults, defending the forest of Bretonnia in their signature dark green cloaks. These men are the nightmare of many beastmen and other foul creatures that debase the woodland realms. Now I will talk about the most important thing that you have on your mind right now, and that is ranks and promotions. When you join the clan, you'll start as the most important rank, the peasant, so here's your scythe and get to working those fields. When a peasant has fought in a few battles and lives to tell the tale, he'll be armed by his lord with some proper weaponry, giving him the rank of armed peasant. When an armed peasant has spent many battles honing his skill, his gear and weapons will be upgraded and given a small ration, making him a man-at-arms. Men-at-arms that have been loyal, skilled and dedicated might get promoted to sergeant. Sergeants can take up leadership roles and will be the second in command when the captain dies. To become a sergeant, one must pass the sergeant trials and distinguish themselves from the other men-at-arms competing. The captain of a duchy is not an easy rank to achieve. It takes skill, initiative and some amount of charisma to lead an entire duchy when the lord is sent to the cavalry for battle. Being promoted takes time, and how long it takes is different for each duchy. Time is not the only factor. Your dedication, your attendance and your feats on the battlefield can all impact your promotion. These promotions are bestowed on people during ceremonies where the whole kingdom gathers in one ceremony hall. These ceremonies are held after every other Sunday battle. Now that we have covered most of the general info, it is time to take a look at the duchies themselves. One of them is going to be your new home after all. Almost all duchies have a regiment of renown, an elite corps of specialist troops. They usually fight with regular troops, or they can act as independent units depending on their nature. Lordships fight alongside their duchies or independently depending on their size. That's why you will sometimes see a different coloured shield in a shield wall. The first duchy I will discuss is Couronne. Couronne is the seat of power of the King's royal court and where the capital Bretonnia is located. It is blanketed in arable land and a coast that allows for trading ports despite raiding from Norscan tribes. Their sigil is a golden lion holding a sword on a blue and red shield. Couronnians are without question the finest horsemen in Bretonnia. Horse breeding and horse races are very popular there, even more so than in any other dukedom. The regiment of renown for Couronne are the Lion Helms, recognisable by the white lion pelts around their shoulders and their impressive decorated weapons. The lordships under Couronne is Maréchal and Artenois. Maréchal's sigil is a white lion holding a sword on a grey shield. Artenois' sigil is a white boar on a red shield. We follow the coast to the west where we find Mousillon. Their sigil is a black serpent on a yellow shield. What was once fertile and beautiful land is now nothing but ruins and swampland. The citizens of Mousillon are either sick, malformed, or malnourished. A curse grips the land which causes the undead to follow their last command even when they're not being controlled. The regiment of renown from Mousillon are the Graveguard, skeletal warriors in pitch black armour wielding rusty sidearms and halberds in battle. The lordships of Mousillon are Castagny and Herrimaults. Castagny can be recognised by a fleur-de-lis on a blue and black quartered shield. Under Castagny they have their own knight Moulievre, whose sigil is two white crossed swords under a fleur-de-lis on a purple and black piled shield. The lordship of Herrimaults' sigil is a white dragon on a diagonally split black and red shield. In the mountain passes to the east live the men of Montfort. Their sigil is a white fortress on a black shield. They are a hardy and xenophobic people who live off the toll that they require in exchange for protection of the few mountain passes that lead into Bretonnia. The people are often referred to as mountain goats because of their sure footing in these mountains. These men have lived their entire lives fighting off frequent orc invasions, thus preventing raids into Bretonnian land. As they are a relatively new duchy, they have no regiment of renown or lordships, but this doesn't stop them from being a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Heading west to the coast of Bretonnia, we lay our eyes upon possibly the most beautiful land in the realm, the peaceful and fertile Aquitaine. Their sigil is a blue falcon wing on a blue bordered yellow shield. Aquitaine has by far the best farmland in the realm, for it was once the frontier of the High Elves in the Old World before the War of the Beard. What they lack in external threats, they make up for it in internal feuds. For ages, the many nobles of Aquitaine have fought mostly each other. Their knights are known for their stubbornness and their courage, and when they're not feuding with each other, they're expanding their cities and towns in order to collect more taxes from their citizens. Aquitaine have their own knight called Grimaud, and their sigil is a diagonally checkered green on a white shield. The lordship under Aquitaine is Mortenel, who can be recognised by a white lizard surrounded by red flames on a green shield. Just south of Aquitaine we find the lands of Brionne. The sigil of Brionne is a black axe on a white shield. Well known for the love of the arts, poetry and their love of women, the men of Brionne live a peaceful life. They focus on making everything, including their towns and castles, as beautiful and clean as possible, sometimes to the detriment of its functionality. Their white castles often don't even have room for archers or siege engines, and whole villages get levelled when the lord believes it's gotten too dirty. Brionne is protected from all sides by strong duchies that keep evil at bay, yet plagues and diseases ravage the duchy for no reason that even the most learned ducal physicians can't explain. The regiment of renown are the protectors of Brienne, followers of the sea god Manan, that protects the river Brienne that flows through the duchy. They wield halberds and fight fiercely to protect their beloved lands and rivers. Brionne's knight is Frontier, sporting a quartered red and white crest, adorned with golden French lilies and blue lions. At the southern border of the realm lies the dukedom of Gascony, bordering the lands of Estalia and Tilia. The sigil of Gascony is a golden sword between two French lilies on a red and blue shield. When you ask why Brionne is so safe, the answer is for martial and practical Gasconians. It is a highly militaristic land in which everyone from the peasants to nobles is expected to be skilled in warfare. Even the shepherds are renowned for their martial prowess and are hired throughout the old world. All male nobles are presented with a fine sword at their birth. It is supposed to be the first thing that they grasp. This sword is then hung above the boy's bed until he's old enough to train with it. Most Gasconians refuse to fight with any other weapon with a sword and are highly successful with it. The regiment of renown for Gascony is the feared Dragon Guard, wearing armour made from dragon scales and swords with draconic adornments. Gascony's lordship is Bagnac, which has a French lily and a red shield as their sigil. Within the BRE there are two guilds, the Builders Guild and the Guild of Heralds. A lot of work is being put into this project. The modders, texturers, map and asset makers have put in countless hours in making sure everybody looks good, unique or uniform. With over 1,000 players each weekend and clans fighting in their own unique attire, all the duchies, clans and their custom units require concept art, custom models, custom textures and research. A lot of maps are already in the rotation and many more unique Bretonnia themed maps are being added for future battles and roleplay events. It is thanks to the Builders Guild that the BRE events are made possible. They are fueled by passion and by the donations of kind patrons. A donation link can be found in the description below if you want to contribute. The Guild of Heralds consists of poets, the video makers, the artists that promote the clan. These dedicated craftsmen spend their time reporting from the front lines. As bards, they sing the deeds of many brave knights and lowly peasants alike. It is thanks to the Guild of Heralds that we get these YouTube videos out for you to see and enjoy. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope this has answered all the questions you might have about the clan. There will be a recruitment link in the description for those who are interested in joining the BRE. And most importantly, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Shield Wall.